What's going on YouTube? I just wanted to make this quick video. I'm sorry, it's gonna be like sort of a rushed video, which I know that I shouldn't do as a content creator, but I really wanted to talk about it. I've been meaning to get around it all day, actually, but for some reason the program wouldn't allow me to. So I seen an article. Shout out to a call for an upriser, right? He spoke on this article, which made me go and look into it, right, and read it up on February 16th. CNN posted this article, right? And I just want to see I want y'all to see the ideology that they're pushing. And just know that the ideology that they're pushing when it comes to this Georgia Guidestones and depopulation is all rooted in white supremacy. All of this is rooted in it, right? So on February 16th, 2024, CNN dropped this article. The mysteries surrounding the Georgia Guidestones. One way have finally been solved, right? So let's just skip past all this. I'm not going to even take my time to even read all this for you guys. As you can see, the article is pretty lengthy. It's one particular part that I want to show you guys, right? So they're going to be questioning this guy right here. I'm going to show you. I just want you to see what these people think, right? This is crazy, right? Okay, let's start from here. Alberton is in the rural South, about 100 miles east northeast of Atlanta, in the multi state cultural region that is sometimes called the Bible Belt. Given this setting, I had certain preconceived notions about how local officials might view the message of Robert Christian and the Georgia Guidestones, right? It say those notions turned out to be wrong. I asked Elbert County Commission Chairman Lee Vaughn what he thought about the directive to keep the global population under 500 million. Eberhard responded, or Lee Vaughn responded, quote, I don't have a problem with it, end quote. He said, quote, I didn't read into that and think genocide, end quote. So you want to know how these serpents do this double speaking, right? Because in order to get the world under 500 million, that means a lot of people have to become unalive in a sense, though, right? It's currently 8.3 billion people. So that means 7.8 billion people have to become unalive, no longer existent, deleted from society or the world, right? So he said, I didn't read into that and think genocide because, in a sense, it's not genocide. When you get to the root and the true definition of genocide, let me just show y'all. This is how they play with the words. Genocide, the deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with the aim of destroying that nation or group. Now, depopulation is a worldwide thing. When it comes to depopulation, there's no black, there's no white, there's no Asians, there's no so on and so forth. All of the races that we have here on Earth, there's they're not particularly aiming for this specific group. So in a sense, he's right. He don't think that it's genocide because it's not, because technically speaking, genocide is when you go after a Pacific nation or a Pacific ethnic group. They're not doing that when it comes to depopulation. That means that only the selected that they chose, the 500 million, is going to be picked by them. So everybody has to be unalived in a sense, though, regardless on your nationality, your race, and all of this thing. So this is how they really play with the words, because in a sense, it's not genocide. But if you want to go off of their definition of it, though, right? But here's a quote from Bill Gates, and this is the gaslighting that these mainstream media pundits and big conglomerate corporations do, though, right? This is from Reuters. Just listen what they said, right? Bill Gates' quote about vaccines and population growth has been taken out of context again. Really? Well, tell us, fact checkers. How was it? Tell us. Let's see. A comment from Bill Gates about vaccines and population growth has again been taken out of context. On social media, one of the posts asks, so you're telling me the same guy that said we can lower the amount of people on earth with vaccines is now making a vaccine and the people can't wait to get injected with it. So this is a direct quote from Bill Gates. Bill Gates said about overpopulation and said that we could lower the amount of people on earth with thus vaccines. So one would have to think it don't take a rocket scientist to understand this. How would you be able to do that, Mr. Bill Gates? How is this taking what he said out of context. It said the misinterpretation stems from a comment Gates made during a TED Talk in 2010 about methods for reducing the world's carbon emission to zero. Crucially, one of the factors pushing carbon emission to an unsustainable level is population growth. So everything that they're talking about, we all know Bill Gates' daddy, granddaddy, all come from a long line of eugenicists, right? So here's part of the TED Talk interview that Bill Gates do. I want y'all to pay close attention to the words that Bill Gates say, though, right? Because these people really look at the masses as we can't think for ourselves, and it's bad for us to ask questions. Nothing he's going to say is going to make sense.
This is a very important question to get right, because it was absolutely key for me. When our foundation first started up, it was focused on reproductive health. That was the main thing we did, because I thought, population growth in poor countries is the biggest problem they face. You've got to help mothers who want to limit family size have the tools and education to do that.
Why would he say that mothers who want to limit family size, it's up to them to do that? I mean, it's protective measures you could take. Become abstinence. Don't engage in sexual activities that could lead to you becoming a mother. So why would people who's engaged in this, why would he say that these mothers who's creating families want to maintain how many people is brought into the family? That's simple. Why would they need you to help them with that, Mr. Bill Gates? That don't make sense within itself. But go on, finish talking.
That's the only thing that really counts. Well, then I came across articles that showed that the key thing you can do to reduce population growth is actually improve health. And that sounds paradoxical. You think, okay, better health means more kids, not less.
Do you see what I'm saying? He said that the best way to reduce the population is by better health. And then he's going to say the obvious, because everybody know that. Well, if you want to improve health, Mr. Bill Gates, how is that going to lower the population? How? When the people is more healthier than ever. So if you're going to help them improve their health, then that means that it should be more kids, right? But if you let this psychopath tell it, though, he's really trying to paint this image that no, the better health. Like, so basically what he's saying is people with the worst health is the ones who's producing all the kids. I don't understand what he's really saying. Let's just take it back and listen to what he really just said in full and total.
That showed that the key thing you can do to reduce population growth is actually improve health. And that sounds paradoxical. You think, okay, better health means more kids, not less kids. Well, in fact, what parents are doing is they're trying to have 2 kids survive to adulthood to take care of them. And so the more disease burden there is, the more kids they have to have that high probability.
So he said that the average family is trying to have 2 kids and have those kids to survive to adulthood. They saying, but if they're in a disease-burdened nation, then they're going to try to have more kids, because they're thinking basically that some of these kids that we have, and being that is a disease-burdened nation that we live in, is going to die. So we got to have more kids so 2 of them could reach success. Bro, what the hell are you talking about, Bill Gates? What are you talking about? This is crazy. And this is coming from a guy who holds no medical degree, no PhD in medicine, none of this. This just comes from a guy who started his career out in the tech industry. He stole everything that he got right now from an old partner of his. This guy is not a medical expert, but yet and still he's on all these major platforms telling us what is the best solution to depopulate. And we all need to line up and take these vaccines when he's speaking about depopulation, reducing the population. What is in the vaccine that you're going to give me that help you to achieve the goal of reducing the population? It don't make sense. And for him to sit up here and trying to convince people that what he's saying makes sense is diabolical. This is crazy.
More kids, not less kids. Well, in fact, what parents are doing is they're trying to have 2 kids survive to adulthood to take care of them. And so the more disease burden there is, the more kids they have to have have that high probability. So there's a perfect correlation that as you improve health, within a half generation, the population growth rate goes down. In fact, Hans Rosling here at this conference, in two of my favorite speeches, actually showed that unbelievable correlation that population growth has gone down. Today, whereas
You see, I try to put emphasis on unbelievable. That's because it is actually unbelievable. It's false. This is misinformation. But they allow these so-called experts, because they're lining their pockets, they're pushing the agenda that they want. They allow them to speak out and say this outlandish things, because he don't have a doctrine either. But his word is more greater than mine, because he have the money, the influences, and things like this. Anybody with half a brain could really listen to what he's saying and clearly see and hear that what he says makes zero sense. So by making the population more healthier, yeah, it don't make sense. It's unbelievable, but it's going to help reduce the populations if y'all all line up and take this injection that's designed to make y'all healthier. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, right? But come take it so we can show y'all that what I'm saying is true. Of course it's going to be true, motherfucker. I guarantee if I line up to take it, of course what you're saying is going to be true then.
where's their high population growth? It's in the places with the worst health conditions, northern Nigeria, northern India. And so the two problems go exactly hand in hand. If we improve health rapidly, we will get the peak population to be as much as 1 billion below the current expected peak. That is about 8.3 billion versus 9.3.
So all the unhealthy people is out here producing the most kids. All the the places that's stricken with poverty is the ones that's just laying around broke and producing kids. That's a problem them. And we all know who she is. This lady here that helped start Planned Parenthood. Like I said, she was a eugenist too. One of her quotes right here: "We want a world freer, happier, cleaner. We want a race of thoroughbreds." It gets real wicked with this lady right here. If y'all don't know who she is, Margaret Sanger, I advise y'all to look up, or I could do a video on her, because she also has her hands or background, or did. She was from, here we go, eugenics. Is the most adequate and thorough avenue to the solution of racial, political, and social problems. I bet you it is. I bet you it is. It was another article. This right here is a quote from her as well. Okay, I already showed y'all that. But here are some of the most famous people in their sense who spoke on population control, right? So we have David Attenborough. If I'm saying his name right, really it don't matter, right? Because who cares about him and his ideology, right? It say either we limit our population growth. This is a quote from him. Either we limit our population growth, or the natural world would do it for us, and the natural world is doing it for us. But guess who this guy really was, in a sense, though? Get a look at him. Let me see if I can bring a picture up of him. Him. You got it. You got it. Him right here. This is the same guy. Coincidentally, he's a proud, world-renowned Freemason. Why are we even like, how do the world not see these people for who they are, though? Because they do all this philanthropy work and act like they're giving back to the community that they're really destroying. These people saying that maintaining the human population to 500 million would be a perfect balance for nature, when these people themselves don't respect nature. These are the same rich folks who's destroying all the forest land. They're taking all the fruits and creating them in lab. They have no respect for nature, but using overpopulation as an excuse to say, oh yeah, we care for nature. Y'all doing everything that's unnatural, even breeding humans that don't supposed to be here, such as the liger is a hybrid, a lion mixed with a tiger. That's unnatural. You people are doing all this. Bill Gates is the same one who don't have no degree in any of this, but he has all the say-so in the world, the money, the tools, resources, and the connections to pull it off. He want to block out the sun. One of the most natural things in the world that nature can't provide to us. And they telling us that maintaining human population under 500 million is the balance of nature. How? When you people don't respect nature at all. You people don't. I just find it weird that CNN actually printed this article that's promoting this ideology, because if it was anything else that stood against the status quo or the narrative, CNN would do everything in their power to shame it, to smear it, to discredit it, to say it's just some wacky old conspiracy theory, it's not true, this, that, and the third. But here it is, this ideology that they're pushing that's really talking about population reduction. How else are they going to reduce the population? If they want to get it down to 500 million, then that's obvious that 7.8 have to go. 7.8 has to go. So how are y'all going to do that without taking any lives? How are y'all going to do that? So y'all just going to make 7.8 billion people vanish and leave 500 million? I just saw this article and just wanted to make a quick video. I did want to dive deeper into it, but I got some business to attend. I saw this and said, I gotta speak on it. This is weird that the gaslighting that go on in mainstream media, these people really talk to us like we're toddlers and we can't comprehend or think for ourselves, or we are not able to ask the questions or to statements that we know don't make sense to us. How? Just tell us. We will shut up and give you the floor. Tell us how y'all plan on reducing the population from 8.3 billion people to 500 million, because that's a drastic change. How do people being more healthier is going to contribute to reducing the population? Please tell me. And make it make sense, because if it don't make sense, I'm going to raise my hand and be like, Mom, excuse me, Mr. Gates, that's like the dumbest ish I ever heard. How it don't make sense. But I just found this article interesting, and how they really just tried to sneak an article out here and not bring it to the light. Like, this wasn't on mainstream media, although it's coming from CNN. There was no news coverage on this. They literally just printed the article and pushed it back to the back burner, hoping that don't nobody really pick up on it or figure out what's really going on. You have these people saying, well, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think that we should keep or maintain humanity under 500 million. How are y'all going to do that? It's already 8.3 billion people in the world. How? Just please tell us, because I'm very interested into knowing how y'all going to do it. And now I have my certain ideas on that, me knowing how y'all going to do it, but I want to hear it from y'all. I found that interesting and thought I'd touch up on that and brush up on it, man. Walk said, yes, they did, bro. It's the blind leading the blind. They are. A lot of people can't comprehend. That's facts. This is why these people are able to get up here and tell us these things, because the average person who's in this matrix is really not going to use their brain. You know the saying, it says, if you don't use your brain, then somebody will use it for you. That is one of the truest statements that I have ever heard. And living in the times that we're in right now, we could see that, like, blooming and being so abundant right now. It's ridiculous, honestly. It's actually quite scary, because we have more of those people in the world than people like us who actually see past the bullish, if you see what I'm saying. The people who actually see and comprehend what's really going on, it's not many of us compared to the bots and the sheeps or the people who's pushing this agenda. And that's scary. That's very scary, bro, when we are dependent on these people to operate in society with us, and these people are literal bots who's brainwashed and they're being told what to think. Bill Gates, out of his own mouth, just said that a healthier population would lead to population reduction. What? You don't have to be a doctor, a scientist, or anything to understand that that's total rubbish. That's bull. What are you talking about, sir? That don't even make sense. And that's right, JR. That's definitely right. So yeah, I ain't gonna take up too much of y'all time. I gotta get going though. I just wanted to touch on this article, man. I'm gonna do another video on these people, especially these people who's connected to eugenics and Freemasonry and things of this nature, because all of this is a stage, bro. These it's so it it blows my mind how so many of these people are connected to secret societies and groups of this nature though. It really blows my mind from the presidents to the politicians. All of them have one thing in common, and that's Freemasonry or Zionists and things of that nature. All of them are in one big club. What was that white comedian? His name was Paul somebody, but he said that it's one big club and the little guys such as us, we're not invited. And that's facts, bro. Yeah, I appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. Like I said, I'm gonna touch up on this a little bit more. DMV, we in the building, camp. Keep bringing truth. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate you joining and subscribing too, man. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get better with my content. I know you're new to the channel, but I used to engage in a lot of negativity. I've been removing a lot of that off the platform, man. I'm gonna turn this platform around, man. Try to bring you guys some truth, some helpful information, so on and so forth. Just try to play my small little part in this massive world. That's all.